All right. We're with JT Jackson. How you doing, JT?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing pretty good, brother. I appreciate you for taking the time to sit down and talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Thank you for actually having me. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're a U City native, just like me. You know what I mean? My homie. So I'm definitely doing this for you, bro. You know,
Yeah, we appreciate you, JT. Where you
absolutely.
tell all the viewers where you are right now? Where you calling us, or where you reaching out to us from?
Well, I'm reaching out to y'all from Los Angeles, California. Been out here since 2003, and might as well say this is my second home right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
hmm
okay. But tell all our viewers on this platform, it's the first time they tuning in to you.
hmm
Tell them where you're from. Tell them a little about your childhood.
Yeah, well, I was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, and pretty much grew up in University City. That's where I met my man right here that I'm talking to, Arnold Williams. You know what I mean? Always been solid since day one.
For
And yeah,
sure.
man, homie. That's where I'm from, St. Louis. I rep it. I always rep it, man. I mean, like I said, although LA is my second home, but first home will always be St. Louis and U City all day. 314, baby.
Okay. Well, tell us about your experience. What was it like growing up in St. Louis for you?
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. It was just, just like any other little kids growing up, man. And I will say that me being in Los Angeles, California, right now, it's way different, like night and day from St. Louis, and coming out from St. Louis to California. It's just a more fast pace. So I mean, growing up in St. Louis was I felt like it was a little slow, but slow in a good way. Like I mean, everybody chill, laid back, and things like that, man. I mean, growing up, I had some great friends like you, Arnold. I had a lot of friends. Still do, still talk to them, see how they doing. But I always consider my people in St. Louis day ones, no matter what. Even though we may not talk every day, and things like that. But my love will always be, with my people back in St. Louis.
Yeah, yeah.
hmm
So when did you actually leave St. Louis, and what got you into acting?
Well, I always wanted to be an actor. That like ever since, man, honestly, since I was 13, 14 years old. And but to be honest, that in St. Louis, you just can't. You ain't gonna make it doing that. You're not gonna make it being an actor there. Because it's just we never had the resources to do it, and still don't, to be honest. So you either had to move from St. Louis to New York to be an actor, or you have to move from St. Louis to California to be an actor. Los Angeles, which where I'm at right now. But of course I chose California because of the palm trees and all that. I never seen it, and it was just I know it was gonna be a different scene, different vibe, and so I had to figure out a way to get from St. Louis to to fulfill my dreams to come out here to be an actor, and so I joined I joined the military, brother. I joined the United States Navy, and yeah, I risked my life for this become an actor, brother. And yeah, and I ended up joining the United States Navy when I was 18 years old, and here I am, man. Everything worked out. Like I said, I joined the Navy. Was stationed in different parts. I was stationed in San Diego. Then they moved me up to Everett, Washington, and I did my little time with the United States Navy. Did my little 8 years, and 4 years active, 4 years inactive, and got out, and I pursued my dream, man, and everything went well. Like I'm good. Like my plan worked. That's what mattered, and I'm very very happy with the decisions that I made, man. You know what I mean? So that's how I ended up coming out here to California, joining the Navy, and I always wanted to be an actor, bro. So you know,
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for your service, brother. We
no
appreciate you
problem,
for that.
no problem.
Jumping into acting, what do you think are one of your most valuable skills as an actor? Or what do you bring to a role that's valuable?
Well, according to the teachers that I be going to classes out here in Los Angeles, I haven't been to classes in a while, because of pandemic and all that stuff, and things got a little out of whack. But according to them, man, it's just you can't teach subtlety, and you can't teach comedy in my opinion. I mean, you can try to tell people like, all right, at this point you should do this, and then you may be funny, but at some point, you either got it or you don't, brother. And according to them, and me, I'm humble as hell, man. I mean, if people say I'm funny, hey, thank you. I guess I'm funny, but it's a natural thing, is what I was told from the multiple people, which is why I book a lot. You know what I mean? I book a lot. So you ain't gonna be booking a lot if you ain't got something. So yeah, pretty much natural. You know.
Hmm, okay. Well,
Hmm.
we've definitely seen you in several different TV commercials. Tell
Yeah.
us about some of those TV commercials. Which one did you enjoy shooting the most?
Whew, man, there's a bunch of them, man. I mean, if I had to rate it, I would say that the very first one that I booked when I came out here to Los Angeles was Bacardi and Cola. You know what I mean? That was back in 2003, man. That was probably the biggest campaign that I've ever booked in my life, man. I mean, woo, man. I mean, I had
Yeah, I
billboards
remember
in,
that.
yeah, man. I had billboards in LA. I had billboards up in New York. Like, man, it was a big deal, homie. Like, it was. That's man, boy. I miss them days, man. Especially that money, man. That money was off the chain, like you know what I mean. But shit, changed, man. I mean, the money ain't where it need to be now. But other than that, man, that had to be the best campaign I ever shot, man. And from that, it was actually that particular campaign that just I man, the skies was a limit from there, man. I couldn't stop booking. I mean, everywhere I went, I was booking here, I was booking there, stuff like that. I would say I mean, I filmed probably over. I think my agent said probably over 150 commercials since 2003. You know what I mean? So and once you start booking like that, you're working with the same people that, maybe I work with again on Bacardi. They probably doing another one for Verizon. You know what I mean? Now I'm working with them, so they keep using me over and over, and so that's kind of like the relationships that you build, and they just keep using. If they know your talent and they trust you, and they know that you're gonna give them what they want, you're working forever, man. You know what I mean? They're gonna always give you a job. So yeah, Bacardi and Cola would have been my best, like that's my claim to fame right there, man.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about some of your TV shows and movies? You've definitely been
Hmm.
in a few,
Yeah. Yeah.
such
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
Naked with
Yeah.
Marlon
Naked. Yeah.
Wayans, Regina
Marlon Wayans.
Hall.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Think
I
Like a Man
think like a
2,
man too.
Bud's
Yeah.
House.
Yeah. 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 I mean, hey, man, look, all the movies and the television shows that I did, man, all was just, of course I had to audition, and nothing was really handed to me in regards to the television shows and movies. I had to work for that, brother. Like, although I know Marlon Wayans like this, of course I know a lot of celebrities out there like this, but you still had to go through the formalities. You know what I mean? Like, although I would have liked for some of them just to be like, yo, man, here, just take the role. But unfortunately for me, it didn't happen that way. I had to pretty much work for the shows and the movies that you saw me in. Especially the movie Naked with Marlon Wayans and Regina Hall. I had to audition for that, and I ain't gonna lie, my audition sucked. It was horrible. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
but the director said he just saw something in me. He said, "Nah, I think he can do it." You know what I mean? And that's my thing. I am a horrible, horrible auditioner. But brother, if you give me that role, if you say, "Yo, man, Jay, we need you to do this role, man. Can you do it?" I'm going to be, man. When I tell you, I am going to. Woo, man, Oscar performance type shit, brother. I'm not gonna play around, man. I just hate that auditioning shit, man. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I know that's what we gotta do. It's part of our jobs, but man, look, just give me the role, man. I'm gonna knock it out. But yeah, I would say my best movie would be Naked with Marlon Wayans, which is cool. He a humble ass dude, man. Humble as hell, man. Regina Hall. Everybody in the cast was just amazing, man. You know what I mean? Everybody, and that's the type of environment that I want to be in. Like, just no egos, no nothing. Everybody was there to do their job, but it was friendly and loving. That's what I loved about Naked, man.
Mm. So, have an opportunity to work with so many different actors and all the veterans in the field that you've worked with.
Right.
What did you take away from those actors that you utilize with your skills and your craft now?
What I took from them, man, is just, I mean, I would say just patience. You know, this is a waiting, so it's a patience game in this field that I'm in. But once you get in there, man, it's very lucrative. It's very worth it. And but I would say that the only thing that I would say that I took away from it would be, like I said, patience and humbleness. You know, you got to be humble in this type of game. You know, yeah, that it really that's really it. All I took from them, you know, and you know, it wasn't nothing really profound that they really told me, and you know, things like that. Nothing that I already know. But humble, to be humble, yeah, that was definitely, and patient. Those were the two things that you need to have. Excuse me, have out here, brother. You know,
Mm. Okay.
and of
Well,
course, I can't forget. You gotta have God. God definitely has to have. You know, you gotta have God in your life, brother. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I do have.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So, what, in your opinion, what is one of the most challenging things that comes with being an actor?
Man, whew, I would say rejection, brother. You're gonna hear no. I would say majority of the time of you being out here trying to pursue this career, you're gonna hear no. I don't care, like unless you're like on a level of like The Rock or somebody like that, where you're just getting handed roles and stuff like that. You ain't got to worry about that. But even someone where I'm at, you know, you would think that people would hand me roles. Don't get me wrong. I've been handed roles without auditioning, a lot of them, but not television shows, just commercials. You know what I mean? Because they already know what I can do. So, but yeah, man, I'd say that, you know, outside of that, man, that shit, man, I don't know, man. The, you know, you just asked me another question. That was it.
You definitely hit it on there, man.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's definitely tough dealing with rejection.
yeah, well,
And
yeah, that's what we were. I'm sorry, rejection. Yeah, yeah, my bad. Rejection is by far the worst. You're gonna hear no 90% of the time, and you got to, and that's why you got to be mentally prepared for that. You have it gets hard, brother. You know what I mean? Because you'll go in there and you be like, yo, I killed that role, man. I smashed that role, man. And then you look up, next thing you know, you didn't get it. And you be like, well, what did I do? You know what I mean? What did I do wrong? And then sometimes, brother, it's just out of your hands. It ain't got nothing to do with your performance. And it got nothing to do with the preparation that you did to get there. Sometimes that stuff is that I mean, it's just political. You know what I mean? They may want to go white. You know what I mean? They may want to go younger. They may want to go old. Everything that every reason that why you didn't get the role, if you felt like you did a good job and you didn't get the role, trust me, it ain't you. It had nothing to do with you. Majority of the time, it ain't have nothing to do with you unless you went in there and you just fucked it all up. Like if you just went in there and be like, yeah, I fucked the audition up. Then you can say, yeah, I didn't get it because of that. But if you go in there and doing your thing, like majority of the time, I will say if I went on 10 auditions, I probably killed 9 of them. You know what I mean? I'm just, you know, I went out on a lot of auditions, but yeah, man, if you're not mentally stable when it comes to rejection, this ain't the business for you. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be honest. This ain't the business. It's gonna tear you apart, and it's gonna have you second guess yourself. It's gonna have you question yourself to make you think like you ain't like you're not worthy, or am I in the wrong field? It's just like nah, because you're making it about yourself, and it ain't, because it's out of your control. All you can do is just go in these rooms, make sure that you go and you audition and you do what you're supposed to do, and you walk out of there with your head high, knowing that you gave them what they wanted. And if you don't get it, it ain't you. You know what I mean? But you just gotta, but mentally, you know, you gotta kind of, you gotta adjust to, you know, not booking or just not getting the job. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, if you could pick one movie role, what would be your dream role to land?
Man, I always wanted to play like roles like Samuel L. Jackson, brother. You know what I mean? Because he ain't like, you know what I mean? Because he ain't like the comedian, you know what I mean? But the shit that he does is just fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? It's like an indirect, like he's just so funny. Like, though, that's my dream role is just to, not to necessarily be like, I don't like that slapstick type of comedy, like trying to be funny. That's just not me. I'm more of a natural situational dude. You know what I mean? And my dream role would be something like just like a comic relief in a drama or a dramedy or something like that. You got everybody that's serious, right? But then you got me that like, of course I'm not gonna be like, be just like, hey, doing all that little shucking, chucking and jiving, whatever you want to call it. But my lines that's tailored for me will be just funny. You know what I mean? And that's like Larell, like Larell did in is it Get Out? I think that movie called Get Out or whatever. Like he was a comic relief. That's the type of stuff that I've always dreamed of doing. I mean, I've been wanting to do that since I was back in St. Louis before I came out here and joined the Navy and all that other stuff. So that's my dream. My dream role is to do that. You know.
Hmm. Okay. Well, you somewhat touched on this question,
hmm
but what are one of the most important lessons you've learned, and what advice would you give someone, I guess, going to LA, trying to get a start in entertainment?
Have a plan. Have a fucking plan. Just don't turn on your TV and see everybody doing this and having a good time, partying and seeing all these celebrities living all this good life, man. It's people that move out here every day. 1,000 people move to LA, and 1,000 people move out of LA every day because they can't make it. And you know why? Because they come out here without a plan, man. You know what I mean? You gotta have everything in order on what you want to do. That's the advice that I would get. And like I said, I knew these things. I knew all of these things before I left St. Louis. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. So how do I get to LA? I'm about to tell you what my plan was. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. How do I get to LA? Shit. It's expensive as hell. Way more expensive than St. Louis. So that means that I'm gonna have to get a place to stay. I'm gonna have to get a job. Then I'm gonna have to pursue acting. You know what I mean? But we already know that ain't even guaranteed. So I'm like, how can I get to LA and not worry about a place to stay, food, none of that, so I can just focus on acting. You know what I mean? Join the military. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, you know what? If I join the military, join the Navy or whatever, you know, I can get orders to come out to California, and at least I'm killing two birds in one stone. With one stone by having the military put me in a trade or a position where in a field that I like to do, like I love computers. You know what I mean? So I went out there. I joined the Navy, and they paid for my schooling to go to. I got my little associate's degree in computer, like in computer science and all that other stuff. So if the acting shit didn't work out, hey man, guess what? I could fall back on my computer shit. You know what I mean? And that's the plan. You got to have a plan, because if you don't, you come out here, you're gonna go back home. I'm tell you that right now. You are going back home. You can't come out here just rushing into something that you don't know about. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. My plan probably was a little bit too strategic, and I risked my life. You know what I mean? Going, they had me on out in the Middle East, doing all types of shit. You know what I mean? I was like, well, damn. I hope I make it back, type shit. You know what I mean? So, uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, of course I made it back. But yeah, man, that was my plan. I'm just happy my plan worked, bro. My plan fucking worked. So yeah, that's it. Have a plan if you come out here. Period.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What can we expect to see coming soon from JT Jackson?
Well, that basically, we just got out of this writer strike. I don't know if y'all heard about that out there, but a writer strike and a actor strike. The writer strike was resolved before us. Ours as an actor, we were resolved, like a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks or something like that, probably a couple of weeks ago. And so everything kind of shut down. You know what I mean? And then the pandemic didn't help out at all either, man. Work was slow, and the game changed in regards to pay out here when it comes to writers and actors. Like they're not paying like they used to, and that's why we went on strike. So now everything good. We're gonna start getting that money popping off again, and so now that we're just getting back into the acting and everybody and all the writers coming back, now the jobs are starting to come in, like the auditions and things like that. But um, I will say that it's November, and well, I'm sorry, it's December now. So kind of the strike ending kind of ended when we all go on hiatus anyway. Like the industry shuts down anyway because of the holidays. So ain't really nothing going on right now. But as far as me, I got stuff in the works. Unfortunately, I can't talk about a couple of them because of NDAs that were signed. And there's people out here they're just not original. So I could tell you what I'm about to do or something like that, and then somebody that can hear it be like, "Oh, let's jump on it." Like, so I can't really talk about what I'm going to do, but I do have things come that I do have something coming out, or I'm about to film as well in the upcoming future. Next year, of course. But I do have a State Farm commercial where I'm playing a bowler that should be airing very very soon. I mean, any day now. I don't know what they're doing, but they need to hurry up. You know what I mean? I need to get that money. You feel me? Holidays coming up. Yeah, I need to get that money, buddy. But other than that, man, that's pretty much it. I got a whole bunch of just future projects that are going to happen. I mean, pretty big ones, man. So I'm happy with what's happening with me right now. You know,
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Well, we're not gonna hold you. We appreciate you for your
no,
time.
it's cool.
Are there any final words or a message or anything that you would like to say or get out to the public or your fans before we wrap it up?
Man, just to be honest, man, I guess what I would say is, you know, just don't believe everything you hear, man. Just kind of, just kind of, always second guess what you hear these days, man, and on just throughout throughout the media, the internet, or whatever, the television, stuff like that, man, because it ain't never what it seemed to be. I would definitely say that it's never what it seems to be. There's narratives out there that people want to put out, things like that. But look, man, I'm always protected by God at the end of the day. And my wife, she's just so amazing, brother. I mean, I honestly can't. I ain't saying that because she in the other room or nothing like that. But I'm just telling you, man, she is amazing, and without her, I don't know where I would be. You know what I mean, mentally, man. I'm gonna be honest. But I would just tell people, man, listen, follow your dreams, man. You know what I mean? Don't listen to nobody. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't make it. Don't let nobody, just steal your shine, man. Like don't like if you believe that you are if you believe that you are able to if you believe that you are able to just pursue a career or I don't care if you're a rapper, I don't care whatever it is, I don't care if people say, oh man, that's stupid, man. Fuck them. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Do it until you realize like, well, maybe this wasn't it, or maybe it is. You know what I mean? Just follow your dreams. That's all I got to say. Cause I'm gonna follow mine, man, and I ain't gonna let nobody get in my way to tell me otherwise. So yeah, man, like for you, you know what I mean? Like you in this podcast, man, go for it, brother. I like it. You know what I mean? And I'm rooting for you. You know what I mean? Keep people in your life that's positive, man. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody take your energy away. That's all. That's the only thing I got to say, man. You know?